have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. Jesse. And my brand new biblical question for this week. And it's a doozy. It's a Ola Cicio Mamma Mia doozy. What good have you gotten from religion? What good have you gotten from religion? That's interesting background there. What good? An amazing question. And again, it's the questions are for those who want to work on themselves, to overcome the fallen state, to be free. They are not for everyone because most human beings love their personal misery. They love their hell. They roam the earth to fight to stay in their hell, and they try to pull others into their hell. So it's not for everyone. All right? Only for the few that want to be free, the men and women who want to be free. Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about and you just can't sit and watch the show, you can podcast. All of the shows you can podcast. And also, you can be listening to the show no matter where you are in the whole wide world and what you're doing. You can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. It is Tuesday again. Again. Hee-haw. And every Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back, bring back my country to
What
me.
the?
Who let the dogs out? Woo. Amazing. 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 So last week, we didn't deal with the biblical question at the fellowship, and I said I was going to deal with it on Monday, and it went past, and I did not. But I want to at least mention last week's biblical question for a minute, and then move on. Last week, biblical question: how do you trust God? How do you trust God? And I want to say that first is that it's hard to find a person, though there are men and women working on themselves now. It's hard to find a person that trusts God. They say it, and in their mind they believe it, but it has nothing to do with trusting God. And because if you trust God, you'll be free. You would have been free from slavery, imprisonment of your mind and emotions. You would be free already. And the proof in the freedom would be you have no fear, no doubts. And I'm not talking about physical fear. You have to protect yourself from the criminals out there. You have to look both ways before you walk across the street. You must watch your back now because the criminals have been given permission by the government to hurt you. So you have to watch yourself with that. But I'm talking about psychological fear. You will have none of that. You will have no fear in your inwardly. You will have no worry. You will have no doubts. You will have no insecurities. You will have no desperation. You will not be into suicidal thoughts. You will not be lonely. You will not look for love. You will not think about tomorrow or yesterday. You will not be angry. You will not hate anyone. You will have no anger, which is hatred, which is evil, toward anyone, no matter what the situation is outside of you. If you trust God, you will have none of those things. You will not think that you are a transgender or lesbian, or a homosexual or this or that or anything. You will have no identity. You will be totally free. You will only live in now, in the present, where everything is done. The kingdom of heaven is finished. You will already be living in paradise right here on earth if you trust God. You will have perfect peace. And I'm not just making that up. If you trust God, just think about it. Everything's been done. It's been finished. You are free. You're neither sinner nor saint. You're neither guilty nor innocent. You're neither right nor wrong. You're neither free nor slave. You're not none of those things, but you live all of those things because you don't trust God. Saying that you trust God doesn't mean that you trust God. Most people say it, especially the religious people, whatever religion you may be in. But you don't trust them. You're just saying it. It sounds good to say it. But immediately, when asked, do you have perfect peace? No one does. You can't. Nobody does. Then you don't believe in God. You don't trust God. It's just a word. You're not free. If you trust God, you would be free. And whatever happens outside of you would not touch you, would not bother you one iota. Number one, you will understand the spiritual battle, and you will understand that all human beings are evil. And they mean you no good. When they go after you, they're not trying to help you. They're trying to hurt you. They're trying to draw you into the hell that they're in, and they will call that life. So, those are some proof of trusting God. Trusting God is just not saying it. Also, you would know that there is a kingdom of heaven that inside of us is in us, and there's the right way to live now. You're not waiting in the future, which doesn't exist, to enter into the kingdom of God. You will already be there. Do you know people wait to die before they can, in their mind, they're going to enter into the kingdom of heaven? And they won't, because it's in their mind. And if they die in their mind in the future, they're going to be living in their mind after they drop their physical body. And they will be stuck in illusions in hell, just as they're living that way on earth. It would still be the same. So you can live in paradise right here, or you can believe the world that no one can have perfect peace. Most people are not even looking for it because they believe you can't have it, and then they justify anger. They justify, oh, well, you need anger for this, because anger does. There was a young lady in church on Sunday fellowship. She was like breaking down anger, when you can have it, when to use it, what it's like, and all that. I'm like, you're breaking down evil. But she's not ready to see that yet. That is, hopefully not hopefully, but maybe she'll see it eventually. She's breaking down anger, making it's okay for this situation, but not for that one. Anger is used for this and not that, and blah, blah, blah. What a sad way to live. The answer is no for most people. But have you paid attention lately to what's happening just in this country alone? How evil and the suffering and the fear and the jealousy and the envies and the lies and the strife that human beings are bringing upon one another. Pay attention into government, what's happening in there right now, and you will see it's happening in your world too. You will see it is happening in your world. Isn't that amazing? You can be free, folks, but I understand that most people don't want freedom. They love complaining. They love their misery. There is this black female by the name of Reid, and she appears to love her misery, love it. And over the last few years or so, she's been having this little TV show on MSNBC, and she's been having a field day promoting evil. Just love it, promoting evil. And love her evil. It's amazing. I remember when I had hatred in my heart, but I didn't know it, right? But I knew my life wasn't at peace. And I didn't know why. I had read in the Bible, you can have peace. Christ came that you may be peaceful. Have peace. And he came that you may overcome the world. Not to condemn the world, but to overcome it. And I would read the Bible, I would go into these different churches, and I had none of that. And I knew I didn't. And so I didn't kid myself to see myself. I just didn't know how to get it. But when I asked, how do I overcome this? It was given to me. And I would not look back. And the anger was taken away. And the fear was taken away. And it was amazing. But if you look, pay attention to you first, and then watch what's going outside of you. You're going to see the same hell that's happening in government and media and in the world around you. It's happening in you because you have not overcome the world inside of you. What a mess! You can overcome the world inside of you, and you can say bye-bye to the world. And you will live in it, but not be of it. So this female by the name of Joy Reid, she loved misery. And she's proud of it. The Guardian is reported that MSNBC has reportedly canceled longtime anchor Joy Reid's show. It's what is evidently a major program restructure at the liberal network. And so this female broke down, according to this. She broke down, Joy Reid broke down sobbing while addressing being fired from MSNBC, claiming her show had real value. Right, promoting evil. Watch this.
My show had value. And that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them, or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country. And yes, whether it's talking about Gaza, and where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God.
Yeah, your devil God. She's not sorry. Evil is not sorry for its destruction. She's not saying, you know what, I realize now that I'm fired or let go, however it happened, I was wrong. Sometimes for a few people, you look at yourself, you realize, what's been going on with me? And how can I overcome it? She's not ready for that. And what is 1619? What's that, Nick?
They try and change the founding of America to that because that's when slaves were brought to Virginia.
What?
That's the theory.
And what's the theory?
That in 1619, blacks were brought to Virginia or something like that.
But they were brought here because America was already here.
Well,
they were brought to America, dummy. She think that's when. What she think that's when America started? Was
1776 is the year America started.
But what is she saying though?
In 1619, they're saying, less than 100 years. No, 100 years before that. They're saying that that's the true founding. But America wasn't even a country then. It was like colonies. It's just trying to make it about slavery.
I noticed that black people try to make themselves be important by words and not by action. They say, that doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even know what to say. That's so dumb, I don't know what to say. What the? Well, anyway, you can't, she's trying to make, black people, listen, you can't make yourself be important by making up false facts. First of all, you shouldn't try to be important anyway. There's not one important person on earth. Zero important person. It is impossible. Impossible. That's what you are to me. Impossible, yeah. You can't be important. You ain't important. You ain't that important, period. I know in your mind you can make yourself feel important because you believe the lies of the imagination of thought that you are important. But the people look at you and they think, you ain't important. What the? And so blacks, stop following these stupid people. They making up things to try to make you feel important or feel better. Take hold of your own life as an adult and you work on you and let the world go. Let the stupid female say what she want to say. She's miserable. And when she's crying, she's lying. She's lying. You got to take, like they used to do at one time in the good old days before the civil rights movement, black people, for the most, I'm sure you found some weakness in the bunch. One bad apple don't spoil a whole bunch, folks. But black people were independent thinkers. They wouldn't try to make themselves be important by making up false facts. 1619, that's dumb. That is so dumb, I don't even know what to say about it. But apparently this female is gone. Ain't no use in praying for her no more. She gone from MSNBC, it seems. And Reid really wanted this female to be president. Watch this from Fox 11, how Kamala Harris dealt with the fire situation in Pacific Palisades. Watch this.
What goes through your mind when you see this? You're here, you're now seeing it up close.
It's not only seeing it, Alex, you can smell it. You can feel it, right? So it's seeing it with our eyes, and many people have seen it. You all are covering it. But to literally be on the ground here, you can smell the smoke that was here. You can feel the toxicity, frankly, of the environment. You can feel the energy of all of the folks who are still here on the ground.
Oh, she answered that question. I wonder, why does her white husband let her do that? He know that ain't right. White people don't talk that way. What the? Oh, white men who are married to black women are afraid of them. Let me see, have I ever met a white man who's married to a black woman and she obeyed him? Maybe over the year I met one or two. So that's why this man is letting this female, go around saying all this stupid stuff. And rather than saying, you know, honey, what you're saying is not making any sense. Let me I know you're black. Let me show you how. He's not even, what the? Her husband is Jewish? Is that man Jewish?
Oh, yeah, I heard something like that as well.
So Kamala Harris' husband is Jewish?
Correct.
He really shouldn't let her be saying this stupid stuff then.
I know. That is so funny the way you put it, though. It's so she's walking around talking all distinguished in her mind.
Right.
But it's black, and he won't tell her.
And it made no sense, right? But he won't say, you know what, honey? Come on, let me show you how to talk, how to speak.
That's genius.
You call yourself running for president, and all you just saying stupid words with no meaning, honey. I understand you're black, and black people don't know how to speak, and they don't know what to say. But let me show you. I bet he is afraid to show her. Because she doesn't make any sense about anything at any time. Well, how you feel about you? I can smell, not only I can see the devastation, I can smell it. What kind of answer is that? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. I want to warn you. Do what you want, of course. But I'm telling you, and I know it for a fact, that if you don't start working on yourself to overcome your hell, if you don't take responsibility for yourself, there was a young man at church who said that he believed that taking responsibility for yourself, not exactly that, but having that you are your own world and you are only responsible for you, he believed that was selfishness or something like that. But it's selfishness and egotistical not to take responsibility for your own life. Because when you're in that fallen state, everything you do for someone else is selfishness. You're doing it for you while pretending that you're doing it for someone else. You get the thrill from it. Oh, I helped that person. Oh, I did this for that person. I prayed for that person. Oh, I did this for my children. Oh, I did this for my wife or my husband. It's all about you. But when you work on your world and live from within, it's impossible to be selfish. All that stuff will pass away. It will pass away. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. There is another real reality, folks. You can live and you can be free of all your misery, and it's right now. It's in you. It's right here, right now. It's not over there. It's not over yonder. It's not over there. It's right here, right now. It might, it's right here, right now. Now, you can live in your imagination and just doubt everything I've said and live in your prison of your imagination. 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. I wonder, and a friend of mine just texted me this, I wonder if Kamala Harris was white and if she was as dumb as she is and running for president. My buddy said, hey, she can't be unbelievable. She can't be serious. If Kamala was white, she would make the blonde look brilliant. Oh, that's funny. She would make the blonde look brilliant. Amazing. 888-77. It is so amazing, folks. The delusion that we can live in our whole life and be miserable and be afraid and be uncertain and be helpless and just don't know what to do, but you could be free just like that. And just live right now. Even Christ said, don't think about the past or the future. He was telling you not to think about it because it doesn't exist. And when you go into the illusion of it, it is taking you away from him, and you're living in what they call time, and in him there is no time. There is no time. Ronnie is out of Ohio. Ronnie, welcome to the show. You're on the air. I mean Kevin, not Ronnie. Kevin, my bad.
Yeah, I was kind of confused right there.
Yeah, Kevin, my bad. Sorry about that.
You cool. You are okay. Well, happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
Why can't you say that? Why is it so hard for you to say that?
I said thank you.
Yeah, but why is it so hard for you to actually say it?
I said thank you.
That's okay. I mean, you're welcome, but...
Did I say thank you?
Yeah, you said thank you, but you didn't actually say it.
Say what?
Happy Black History Month.
Oh, happy Black History Month, Calvin.
All right.
Why do you celebrate? Cool. You celebrate Black History? Hold on, Kevin. Don't hang up. Let me take a quick break. 888-77 Jesse. Back in a moment. What the? Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Time won't give me time. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, ring the bell. We're on rumble.com/JLP Peterson. Rumble, you got to know how to rumble. And cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. JLP Talk on X, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And again, like, follow, comment, subscribe, all right? And for personal shout-outs, go to birthday shout-out, wedding, anniversary, whatever the shout-out is, encouragement, getting married, whatever. Go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And last but not least, check out my books. Amazing books. And I'm not bragging, I'm just showing you. From Raised to Responsibility, my first book. And then the antidote, scam, how the black leadership exploits black America. And then a little small pocket guide. You can carry it around with you in your back pocket or your coat jacket. Or ladies, you can put in your purse. And it's just 7 principles. If you use them, you can't lose. If you don't, it's not going to be enough just to read them and not do them. You got to do them. You got to be a doer. And it will work. 7 guaranteed steps to spiritual, family, financial success guide. And we use that in our entrepreneur class and everywhere. And the antidote, healing America from the poison of hate, blame, and victimhood. What the? You can be free. You can be free. Or you can stay enslaved. The antidote, healing America from the poison of hate, blame, and victimhood. And I will sign them to whomever you like for me to do it, but you have to go to order them at rebuildingtheman.com/store. rebuildingtheman.com/store. And I will sign them. Amazing. Let me go back to, or you can call 800-411-BOND to order them as well. 800-4, what? 800-411, my producer talking to me right here. 800-411-BOND. Let me go back to Calvin in Ohio. So, Calvin, you want to say Happy Black History Month. So, Happy Black History Month. You celebrate Black History Month?
No, I don't do anything special for the month. I just recognize, everything that Black Americans have done to contribute
Like
to
what, for
America.
example? What? Let me just go from the last 70 years forward. What have Black people have done in the last 70 years or so to make America better?
Why you like the last 70 years?
Because ever since then, they've been enslaved by the so-called civil rights leaders and the media and everything, and they haven't done a dime of anything to make America great. What can you think of one good thing in the last 70 years? Because all they're doing is bringing up some of the things, and even then, a lot of that stuff is not real. Bringing up some of the stuff that happened way back then, but they can't tell you anything that they have done, that the Blacks have done in the last 70 years to make America great again, to make it good. Are you able to tell me one thing that the Blacks have done to make America better and help all people?
Well, I can't say about the Black community.
No, I said Black people.
The Black community. I don't use that phrase.
Me either.
I don't use the Blacks, so I say the Black community.
You don't use what?
I don't use the phrase the Blacks. I say the Black community.
Oh, okay. So tell me what the Blacks have done. One thing in the last 70 years that made America better.
Well, I don't really pay attention to all of America, but I can say, like, for one thing that I have been paying attention to is where I'm from, our community actually works on eliminating black-on-black crime and eliminating gun violence in our community. We actually have different organizations that actually focus on that instead of focusing on everything else that's happening in America. We actually focus on our community and our
but even down in Ohio, where you're trying to do something about black-on-black crime, it has gotten worse. It ain't gotten better. Your community is still, Blacks are still killing one another, robbing and hurting one another. So you're not able to tell me one thing that the Blacks have done to make America better, right?
I'm going to definitely look into that, and then I'm going
Okay.
to definitely answer that next time. I can't really actually just say something off the top of my head.
Right
I'm going
on.
to actually get back to you on that.
Okay.
But what I've been really paying attention to, like, is since I actually first started watching, it just honestly, yeah, I know that when we talk, you know, we actually have good conversations, but
Yeah.
I actually been wanting to talk to you about this for so long. It's like you actually really do. I'm not saying it in a bad or disrespectful way, but it just seems like you really do despise everything that just is associated with the Black community.
And how does it seem that way? What makes it seem that way?
All right. The reason why I called, why do you not? What's your issue with the Black national anthem? Because you said every single time they've done it at the Super Bowl, you've had a problem with it. So I want to actually know, why do you have a problem with the Black national anthem?
Because it's a made-up thing, and it separates us rather than uniting America.
It does not separate
It
us.
separates us because there's no such thing as some dumb Black nothing. And they are doing that out of ego to say, they are trying to do this to make white people think that they are free by
It
singing
has nothing to do with white people.
some dumb. That's not even a real song.
Oh, I am so glad you said that. I knew you was going to say that. I am so glad you said that.
Go ahead. Why?
Well, because Lift Every Voice was written in 1900 as a Christian song. It was written to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's birthday. So it was a Christian song.
So why y'all turn it into a Black night? I've been hearing different things about it. I heard it was a poem once, and then I heard what you're saying is supposed to be like a Christian song.
It was
But
a poem.
why
It was a poem,
do
but
the
it was written as a Christian song.
but why do the blacks take it and act like it's a black thing then?
So when the NAACP coined it the Black National Anthem in 1919, they used it as a way to show unity between the black community and the white community.
But that's not showing unity.
But it was coined as the Black National Anthem to show like the resilience of the black community during the 1900s. That's why it was called the Black National Anthem. But if you actually listen to this lyrics, it's actually speaking of unity in the country.
But it's not unifying the people at all. Nobody like it but angry black people. So let me just say this.
White people don't like it because it's called black. It's called the Black National Anthem. But if y'all actually listen to the lyrics, it is talking about unity.
But if they were talking about
it because it's associated with the black community.
But if it's meant to unify the people, why are they calling it black?
Because we as Americans, we use the national anthem, yet the national anthem talks about killing black people.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Why do we not sing the whole entire song?
It's too long to sing every time, man.
Let me say this first.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
It was written. I'm being told it's written that Black National Anthem thing. It was written.
Lift every voice.
It was written by a black activist back then. The evil NAACP started to promote the hymn as a Negro national anthem back in 1917, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, to show the resilience of the black community during the 1900s.
But that's dumb.
What aren't you the one that continues to say that that black people were doing good?
The Wikipedia is not calling the NAACP evil. I'm telling you, they're evil.
I know.
It was rose to prominence since 2020 with that Black Lives Matter after George Floyd riot, according to Wikipedia. There's nothing good about it, man. They have maybe when they wrote it for the president, I guess that's what you're saying, it was fine there because it was for the president, but they took it and they made it a dividing so-called national anthem.
They didn't make it dividing. They just named it the Black National Anthem.
Why?
But the whole entire thing, because it resonates.
Why didn't they leave it as is?
Because it resonates with the resilience of the black community during the 1900s.
But the black people ain't got no resilience.
You always say that black people were doing amazing during Jim Crow. Do you not say that?
100%.
Right, my point exactly. So if in 1919,
they didn't think of themselves as being resilient black people. They were just living a normal life. Is that not the definition of resilience? Of us having good black community, having fathers in the home, having family in the home, having property, having land. Is that not resilience from what we had before? No.
I can tell you do not pay attention. You did not pay attention in English class.
Yes, I did. Let me tell you.
No, you did not.
The NAACP was evil back even then. They were trying to start their mess and all that. But black people before this mess with the NAACP and the so-called civil rights movement, black people didn't think of themselves as being, I'm being resilient.
That's just the definition of resilience.
No, black people were just living their lives. They were raising their families. They were going to work.
In the home. They had land. They had businesses.
Right. But they weren't thinking, I'm resilient.
That shows resilience because before we did not have none of that.
Well, how come the blacks don't have it now?
We can go all into that, but that's just wasting time.
Why? But if the blacks were resilient back then, and they'd have made up a black song, national anthem, made up mess. Why are they singing about it?
Take off the name Black National Anthem. Ignore the name Black National Anthem. What's the problem with the song?
Why are they singing about something that they are not?
That part I can't answer, man. That part I can't really answer. But my thing
I can
is,
answer why. They're doing it because they're trying to separate themselves from the white folks.
if we
They don't
took off
want
the
to do
name,
the national anthem because they want to say that that's white.
because it talks about killing black people.
That's not reason they're not doing that, man.
The third stanza in the national anthem talks about killing the African slaves that fought with the British.
I don't know anything about that, but
Yes, written by
And-
Francis Scott Key, who was a slaveholder and anti-abolitionist.
what good is it doing the blacks to think about that?
Think about what?
What you just said about the national anthem. What
Because-
good is it?
because-
How
because
come you're
this-
not concerned about? Why you're not concerned about the fact that the blacks are totally failing in life right now?
Let me ask you your first question.
Yeah.
My thing about that is you said multiple times, you asked,
Ask.
when will we ever be one nation under God,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
So with that, I'm saying, how can we, well, first question, when have we ever been one nation under God?
Before the civil rights movement.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So
For
we were
sure
one nation
and
under
without a doubt.
We were one nation under God. I could understand that there was some blacks and some whites getting along with each other. Then there was some whites and some blacks that stayed away from each other. But you said we were one nation under God. Yet we still had black people being lynched. Yet we still had Irish people and Italian people not even looked at as equal to whites.
Why you guys like to add other people to your mess? Because the Italian people and whatever people, they don't even like the blacks. They don't want to be a part. They don't want to be associated.
Everybody don't like each other. It's not just
Why
these
did
certain
you
people
have to
not liking
mention?
blacks.
Why did you have to mention the Asian and others when the Asian people don't want to be a part of the black people?
Because
mess? They're
you
afraid
said
of
we
the
were
blacks.
one nation under God
We were.
during that era.
We were for
But
sure.
yet we still had black people being lynched. So how were we one nation under God when we were having black people being lynched?
And where's
black
your proof of
communities
that?
Really?
Yeah.
They were having lynch mobs. They were having lynch parties.
Where's your proof of that?
You can literally look up photos and postcards of white people lynching black people. You can actually look this up.
And
they
where
have photos.
you're not giving me proof of it.
They actually have photos of people taking pictures of white people
They have
lynching
photos
black
of people
people.
taking picture of everything.
I'm not talking about everything. I'm talking about one specific thing that you asked. Do not do that.
Because of time, and this is so interesting, I got to run, but listen, you have no proof of that at all, and there's reason. There's no.
Ask Derek to look it up. Look it up on the internet and look.
You look it up and send it to.
I've seen it so many times.
Okay.
Ask Derek to look it up on the internet. There are
Derek ain't got
photos
time.
of black people being lynched by white mob members
Listen.
and children and women watching, laughing at it.
Derek don't have time for all that mess. You find it and send it to producer at JesterLeePeterson.com.
That's
He ain't
another
got
thing.
time to be doing your homework.
That's another thing. Out of my whole entire 32 years, I have never once heard anybody call a Christian song dumb, stupid, and crap.
I'm talking about the black thing they've added to it. They made
You
it a
called the
black.
whole song crap.
They made it black song. That's crap.
Okay.
If they had just had left it as a Christian song, would apply to anyone that liked the song, it'd be fine.
It applies to everybody. It applies to the whole entire community. Well, not community, nation. If you actually listen to the words, it applies to the whole entire nation.
First of all, because of time, then I gotta run, man. I can't go.
Because of time, go ahead.
But let me ask. I have never seen any proof that it was a Christian song. Where did you get that from?
It was written as a Christian hymn.
Where'd you get? I know you said that, but where did you get that from?
A Christian hymn is a Christian song.
No, I'm asking you, where did you get that from? That it was originally a Christian song or hymn?
if you actually look up the person that written
Okay, send that
it
to
was
my
written
producer.
it was written as a Christian hymn.
Send that to my
but
producer.
But you
Derek,
call the Christian hymn dumb and stupid.
Kevin, send that to my producer, okay?
You sure you're going to get it? I tried to send you something last time. I ain't getting no response.
Well, send it to Derek, producer at Jesse Lee Peterson. I got to run.
I know you got to run. You got to run all the time.
Thank you, buddy. Let's see here. What a mess. Let me go to... Let me go to German out of Massachusetts. German, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, German. I'm sorry. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, you're German. I'm Jesse.
Right. Copy that. So, I called last night. I needed some emergency advice.
Uh-huh.
But I know the source of it now. It's just I have to forgive a friend. I just don't know how to do it, and let me explain to you as quick as I can.
Okay.
About 3 years ago, I started a business because this friend kept telling me to do it. I'd never done that before. I was just an employee everywhere I worked. And I decided to finally do it. And what I did was move in with him in his apartment. This was after finally living alone, after moving out from my mother's house at 29. So at 32 years old, I moved into his apartment. We start working, and as soon as I move in, the apartment also had 2 other roommates. It was 4 rooms. And I didn't know until after, but I was living in a trap house. At the moment, there was a lot of weird stuff happening, people coming in and out of the house. But anyway, we start working. I start making money with the business, and then we get a big contract. And at the end of it all, it lasted 2 months, and I find out that he was a drug addict, my friend that motivated me to do it. And he motivated me because before, when I was living with my mother, he was the one that helped me get my license. He helped me kind of wake up a little bit. And then my mother also realized I had to move out. But then through it all, he was helping me, and I trusted him. That's why I went in. And at the end of it all, he was just trying to use me. And till this day, I have big problems with debt, and I'm still trying to, because everything was under my name, and I just don't know what to do. How can I approach him? Because also, he became a very angry guy who would threaten me with violence and stuff. So I don't know how to approach this guy. I have to deal with it, and I don't know how to approach it. How do I forgive someone who has threatened you? And then he helped me. He motivated me to get the business, and then he accused me of stealing his idea. I'm like, how did I steal your idea? He was a drug addict. I never lived around drug addicts in my life. I didn't know nothing about this. You know what I'm saying?
What a mess.
It was crazy. And I grew up in a Christian home. I was a preacher and all this stuff, but it was nothing. It was ridiculous, man.
You were a preacher?
Yeah, I was like a young musician and preacher who would travel and stuff.
Hold on. Can you hold for me?
Of course.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. The hate news coming in. Not the fake news, but the hate news. I'll be back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. Freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought, because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that, at an instant. bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Fire Festival. They're going to try it again. This is the third try. Well, the first try, I don't think they even tried. And the second one, where did I go? Who's that? Is that Fire Festival? Anyway, the second try was they didn't try. The first try was a fraud. Anyway, whatever. They're going to do it again on a Mexican island. And Guantanamo Bay developments. Interesting developments on Guantanamo Bay. There's all these regulations about holding people up in tents. You have to give them air conditioning. You have to give them, like, electricity. What a mess. And federal waste, the purge of federal so-called workforce. There's a whole lot of drama about it. But some good news, U.S.-Russia relations are healing. Very nice. Thank you, Trump. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Tuesday, Country and Western Tuesday, February 25th, AD 2025. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls. But first, it's Hake News, not fake news. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports the notoriously disastrous and fraudulent, I heard, Fire Festival, FYRE, is getting a sequel after a scrapped reboot attempt in 2023. It first happened in 2017. Ja Rule and some other guy went to prison, maybe because of wire fraud and maybe related to this festival thing, I think. Anyway, the music festival will be held on a Mexican island this summer and promises world-class accommodations. I remember they tried to give like peanut butter and jelly or ham sandwiches, white bread on like styrofoam plates. It was a mess. I may be misstating it, but it was that level of accommodations last time. Anyway, some are wary of buying tickets since the first Bahamas getaway turned out to be a total debacle. Is that how it's pronounced? Debacle? Whatever. Plagued by mass chaos. And immigration, also known as invasion, the Trump administration halting its plan to house up to 30,000 illegal aliens. They called them undocumented migrants. In tents at the military base in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. A U.S. official said the tents don't meet the detention standards because they lack AC, air conditioning, or electricity. What? There also haven't been enough migrants, illegals, coming to Guantanamo to justify building more tents, so said officials. Nice, got to save that money. Last week, more than 170 illegals at the naval base were flown to Venezuela. Oh yeah, nearly emptying Guantanamo. Since then, 17 illegals have been brought to the detention facility portion of the base where roughly 1,000 U.S. service members currently on site supporting the mission. Overwhelming force, that's what's needed. And federal job cuts. Federal so-called workers, we use the term loosely, spent Monday trying to figure out how or even whether to respond to Elon Musk's weekend email blast asking them to list a few bullet points, 5 bullet points explaining their work last week. And they're baffled by that request or risk losing their jobs. First, our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, called Elon Musk's email plan a pretty ingenious idea indeed and vowed to support his brazen efforts to purge the federal government of its bloated, overstaffed, ridiculous so-called workforce. And the president added employees who do not answer are semi-fired or fired, as federal agencies scrambled to issue guidance to their so-called workers. The Office of Personnel Management later contradicted Trump, so claims Commie Nonsense, saying responses were voluntary. Yeah, it's voluntary. Or get fired. Anyway, Elon Musk doubled down, saying in a statement, their failing to respond to a second inquiry would result in termination. Come on, get those firings in, because these people are liberals. Anyway, U.S.-Russia relations. U.S. joined Russia to vote against an evil UN General Assembly resolution condemning Russia's war against the Ukraine on Monday, in a stunning shift from years of U.S. policy. It's at odds with the European so-called allies, who are a bunch of do-nothings. So, right on, Trump. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. What the? Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773. 888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question for this week: what good have you gotten out of religion? What good have you gotten out of religion? You ever think about that? You know what? I've been into religion a long time. Christian, Allah, Jewish, Mormon, Catholic, whatever. What good have I gotten out of it? We are here Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, 9 to noon Eastern time, heard around the world by everybody and they mama if you're black, and everybody and their mama if you're white. So some of you are busy, you can't sit and watch it, but you can definitely listen on your iPhone or iPad. Listen live by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. So Nick had Jesse leaning over trying to feed the horse some watermelon. That's what was going on. Jerome asked me, what's wrong with Jesse on the horse? I thought Nick set it up like that to make it look like I was going fast on the horse. Sometimes you go fast, you kind of lean over so you can avoid the wind knocking you off the horse and all that. But Jesse was trying to feed the horse some watermelon. You see the watermelon in there? It's Tuesday. And no, Beyonce did not win that war, Country and Western Song Award, because she earned it. She got it because she was black. It was DEI win. It was a DEI giveaway, not a win. But it is Tuesday, and it is Country and Western Tuesday. Yeehaw! Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to me. What the? Who let the dogs out? Woo. Amazing. You can also, to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. All right. I want to go back to German out of Massachusetts, and he left home at 28, I think. He started a business. A friend of his according to him, encouraged him to start a business. He ended up moving in. It was a 3-bedroom place. He found out later that the guy was into drugs and all kind of stuff, and it's a mess right now. And he wanted to know how should he forgive? Am I right, German?
That's right. So
you didn't know anything about this guy before you moved in, or he encouraged you to start a business?
At all.
So
why would church guy?
Why would you take his advice then?
Because when I was living, like I said, when I was living with my mother, he was the only guy from church. The way I met him was I needed, I would get cab rides because I didn't work because I was a preacher. My mom, I was like you said before. Sometimes you think you're serving God and you serving mama. And right. I didn't notice that.
Mama made you become a preacher. Boy, one day you're going to be a preacher.
And not only her, and everybody else in the church is serving mama too. So you think they from God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And also they have this religion. The religion that they really serve is believing that anger is good. And I didn't know that either, though I knew there was a problem in the church because I remember at 20 years old, before I even heard of you, I forgave my father in my room. I was in my room. I was like, I knew my anger came from me missing my father. And then at 27 years old was when I finally went to travel because he got deported. That was another mess. We can talk about that all day.
But let me ask, because
second anchor baby. Go ahead.
Because of time.
Yeah.
And so you want to know how to forgive this friend?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider him a friend anymore, but
right,
I want to consider this at all,
You want to know how to forgive him?
Yeah, how can I approach him? Because I think he still lives in that house where it was also drug dealing and he had problems. So I don't want to go around that environment. I want to approach him.
You forgive him by not blaming him for your situation at all. It's not his fault that you were blind and you took advice and stuff that you were not ready for or whatever situation. You were blind. So you need to realize, wow, I didn't see what I was getting into. And I'm wrong. You can't blame him for that. It's not his fault that you were blind. So you need to realize I was blind and I didn't see what I was getting into. And yes, it looked like it was a bad situation, but I can wake up from this and start working on myself and live my life. You have no right to be angry at him at all. You were blind. You got into that situation. And he got his own blind life that he's living. But you have no right to be mad at him. And if I would recommend you not be angry at him because you're going to end up in a worse situation or similar situation if you don't drop your anger.
Okay.
It's not
every time, I've been doing the silent prayer and I get these glimpses of perfect peace and then, it just, I go in and out of it. I go right back to my imagination and then that memory comes back.
Right, and that's why the devil bring you back. Those evil spirits are bringing you back to the memory of the past, which doesn't exist, so that you could be angry again because you think it's you remembering those things, and it's not you at all. You got to stay present with real life, which is right here, right now, all the time, and stop going into the illusion of a future or a past, or you will never have peace. Whatever happened then is over. You need to drop it and don't hold anything against that guy because he was in the darkness. He only gave you what he had, only darkness.
Wow. Yes, sir.
And just move on with your life. Practice staying present. When you go in and out of those thoughts, just realize you're in a thought. Don't fight with it. Don't call it you. Don't try to do anything about it, but watch it. And go on with your day and live with the pain of thought and feeling until the Spirit of God taking them away from you, and He will. The light will destroy the darkness. The darkness has no authority over the light.
That's interesting. Now that I'm thinking now, because he did that to me, he was actually doing to that darkness that was in me.
Yes.
So he wasn't even doing it to me. He was just interacting in his dark world, and I was part of it. I didn't notice that.
Two devils interacting together.
And, you know, I've been telling friends this stuff, like, and it's not that I'm imposing, but they ask, you know, because I like to have fun. I'm always joking around, and they ask, you know, they talk to me. I have a friend who I tell them the same thing. It's just we get into that, and I'm still there. I don't say I'm free, but I'm noticing it now. Okay.
Yeah, drop it. Don't hold anything against that guy. There is not one situation that can happen to you in life, and you have a right to be angry.
Sure.
You never have a right to be angry, no matter what. So you drop that by dropping the memories of it and move on and just wish that guy well. He's lost. Based on what you've said, he's lost. He can't see. And it's not his fault you took his advice.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Not his fault. Yes, sir.
And whatever financial situation that occurred as a result of your blindness, don't worry about it. It'll work itself out too. You pay what you can. You take care of today and let tomorrow take care of itself. Don't worry about it. Don't get into that either. You take care of it.
Right, because that's what's been the biggest problem. I get into
that's
these
not a
situations
problem. You're in your head about that, and you're calling it a problem. You got to realize all of your fears and concerns like that are coming out of your imagination, which is hell. You got to stop believing that and just stay present. And the truth will take care of all those issues. They will be worked out. You will see how to work them out.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, that helped quite a bit. You know, I never realized that the stuff I'm believing is just symptoms of me believing it.
Yeah, like you believe in lies.
All the reactions are symptoms of, and it's so subtle, you know, because I'm used to. That's the way I grew. I grew up with 3 women in the house.
Oh, what a mess!
It's like, yeah, it's a mess. So it's like, I realized all through my life, you know, my mother and sister suffered because Dad went around. So did I, but they couldn't handle it the way I did. You know, I would at least realize that the emotion part, like, I just wasn't the same as them, but there was more like a subtle inner reaction that I would have, and it'll take long for it to come out. I knew it was wrong, but sometimes it would come out, you know, the anger and all that crap.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I have. I've spoken to her a while, and she realized, too. She was the one that kind of woke up first and said, hey, you got to leave. And then after I left is when I started thinking about all this. Then I heard you. Then I finally discovered what you were talking about.
Yeah,
forgiving Mom. I went to her, and she realized it. She said, I know. And there were certain specific things that I had to forgive her for, and we mentioned it. And she realized it also.
Right on. Well, stop panicking. When the devil give you thoughts and feelings, don't panic. Be still and stay in the light, and the light got you.
Okay.
You're panicking because you believe in lies. The devil tell you, oh, you got a whole bunch of bills now, and that guy's put you in this, and you panic. And then you give life to evil, and you become one with it. It's enough to see it, but you're not allowing the Father to take care of you because you're panicking with evil. You believe evil.
Serving evil.
Yeah. You're supposed to be still and know God, not overreact to know God. You're never going to know Him by overreacting. Your power is in forgiving and being still and allow Him to work for you. And He will, but you don't trust the truth. You got to trust it by not overreacting at all to anything or any situation or anyone.
Okay.
Let your ego go through what it got to go through so it can die.
Okay. Will do.
That makes sense?
100%, yeah.
So forgive, don't hold anything against that guy. That was your fault. You fell for it.
I fell for it hard, man.
Yeah, because and again, if you blame him, all you're going to do is get into another situation. Situation after situation. And your situation is not going to change until you take responsibility for your own world.
Okay.
I wish you well, man.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, big guy. Thank you, man.
Are you doing the silent prayer every day, every night, every morning, night?
100%, man. And I remember one time I almost missed, and I left the house, and I immediately got into the car. I just could to walk from not doing it to the car. I was like, I can't do this. I had to do it. It's insane. It's just I can't live without it now. You know.
Yeah, and then I want you to now practice during the day when you get caught up in your thoughts. Just be aware of your body or something in the present, and you're right back with the Father. And don't fight with don't say, "Oh, I'm so stupid, I forgot to be present." Oh, don't call yourself,
Right.
and because it's not you, there is no you.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
man.
you very much.
You're welcome. I wish you well.
All right. God bless, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye now. What a mess. Well, I'll get back to your calls in a minute, but I want to just show this to you. For those who may not know, I want to show you more evil. The world is a mess. And it's the mess coming through human beings. Human beings are nasty and evil and wicked, and they love inflicting pain upon themselves and others, and they call it life. They're not trying to help you. They don't care about you. If you notice that when you hear a bad news about someone else, don't you rejoice? And you can't wait to hear more about it. And then you can't wait to gossip and telling people. You get a thrill from it. That's because you're evil. That's not love. You're evil. There's this, according to the New York Post, there's this black so-called pastor behind a boycott of Target due to their decision to roll back DEI initiative, as a long history of associating with Louis Farrakhan. He has a long history of associating with Louis Farrakhan, and recently called black Trump supporters coons in a fiery speech. Watch this from X.
The White House, who are in there tap dancing for massa.
Can you start that over so we can hear
I
it
feel
again?
bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid.
He mad at the black supporters of Trump. And this is being taught in the church. Where's the love in that? Where is the forgiveness in that? Where is the absence of anger in that? And the people in the congregation are having a praise the Lord fit over it. They love it. They love it. They're not saying, you know what? Whether they're right or wrong about supporting Trump, I have no right to be angry at them about it. At least in the church, you should be saying, you know what? Okay, I disagree with them, but I'm not going to praise the Lord and hate them for it, call them coons and all that. But the congregation is shouting and yelling and praising the Lord and loving it. I want to play that again so you can see that for yourself. This guy is attacking other human beings in the name of God. Watch this.
I feel bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid.
Amazing. And they praised the Lord for evil. You have a right to be wrong. And I don't have a right to judge you for it. God doesn't judge you for being wrong. The only thing God is concerned that you overcome your heart of anger, of evil. Anger is evil. You're playing God. He's like, okay, you admit that you're doing that, you can be free. This is what's wrong with the blacks. They're going along with evil. Not only in their own mind, but inside of these preacher and other so-called black leaders. Isn't that amazing? And you wonder what's wrong with the blacks. This is what's wrong with them. They're angry and they're lost. They're angry at their mothers and yearning for their fathers, and they go to church and somebody tells them to hate. Somebody tells them to hate and they praise God. And then they say they love God. And they say they love God. You don't love God. If you don't love your enemy, you don't love God. If you don't love all, you love none. And you get a false thrill of life. And you love it. If you didn't love it, you would drop it. And you will be free. But do what you want. You can live in your hell, your misery. Because what that preacher is he's doing to the people who voted for Trump, he's doing it to himself. He put in that, what he's saying outwardly is what's happening to him on the inside. He's burning. He's burning. What you project outwardly is what's happening to you inwardly. And you're burning. This is why you should take no thought. No thought. No thought about what other people say or think about you, or try to be like anyone, or judging anyone. Take no thought about it, and stay free. This is evil. This is what evil look like. Why can't, if you go to preach about it, why don't you say, you know what, I don't agree with them, but they have a right to vote for whomever they want to vote for. But he calling them coon and all that kind of stuff, and the church is having a God fit over it, all in the name of God, but really in the name of evil. Praising the Lord. This is what's wrong with the blacks. They're angry and they cannot see. It has nothing to do with racism, sexism, homophobia, Allah Uabaism, Debbie Dadism, white supremacism, or anti-Semitism. No ism. You're either of love or hate. There's no in between. And God is trying to create love through you. He's like, okay, if you drop your anger, admit you're angry and that you're wrong for it, I'll create love through you and give you peace. But no, you love misery. And you're shouting in the church, praising the Lord. All that noise, rejoicing over evil. God said, if you don't love all, you love none. He's telling you the right way to go, and you won't take the right way. You have chosen anger. Anger is evil, same thing. You chose anger and judgment. You have chosen to fight with the world rather than overcoming the world. Lay down your weapons and stop fighting. You've been taught wrong. Somebody want to fight, let them fight by themselves. Your husband, your wife want to argue, let them argue by themselves. Don't argue with them. What the? Two devils arguing. And if you don't argue with the devil going to have a fit because you're not arguing back. And the devil can't argue by himself. What the? You don't love me. You're not arguing back. You're not saying anything. Why? Why? I can't be mad at you by myself. I need something from you to be mad. I need a reaction. I need a reaction. And you give it to the devil, and the devil got you. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Danny bought a coffee. All right, Jesse and the lads. James, that answer to my question was so deep it nearly struck oil. It's time for Hake to lose his title of beta back. Laughing face emoji with tears.
Right on.
That's nice.
Nice.
Lori bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, church meant so much to me on that Sunday. 4 hours after church, my mother died. I'm watching evil try to take me down right now, and I see where the tears are really coming from. Evil. Thank you for speaking nothing but the truth.
Lord, stay with it. Stay with it. That's deep. Stay with it. And may your mother's soul rest in peace. Wish her well. And you're right. God, don't listen to those thoughts. You need to be boo-hooing. And if tears should drop, let them come and let them go. Don't hold on to them. And let the memories be gone. Be free. And amazing. Let the dead bury the dead. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. That is amazing. Thank you.
Jim in Alaska over on punchy.tv/JLP. I've been out sick the past week, but we have been watching every day from home. Great church yesterday. Meaning Monday. I mean, this was from Monday. Meaning Sunday.
Sunday fellowship, and all the Sunday fellowship. But this Sunday fellowship Sunday, and even the one before that, even the one before that one, it was amazing. It was like, if you don't get anything from those fellowships, rebuildingtheman.com/church, you just don't want it. You're there to play devil and judge. But those who come to overcome, they're walking away free. Or on their way. They have some light now, and they're on their way to total freedom. Thank you, and stay with us, stay with us, stay with us. I wish you well in your health.
Also on punchy.tv/JLP. Hey guys, says Graham again. Just wanted to say the editing on the Punchy TV episode with Jackie cracked me up. I really like how you guys compliment each other. Joelle jumping in and adding to a point from Hake in a way that lets Jackie, I think that was her name, find more of a bridge to his point. Real nice episode.
That was, Joel does the editing for that. He did an amazing episode. I thought the editing on that was amazing too. And here is the teaser from that episode, right?
Yeah, Punchy TV.
Why are you looking crazy there?
I just did a wide-eyed thing, flaring my eyebrows. And he's like, why are you looking crazy? That's just my face.
I was thinking maybe we didn't have it or something.
I mean, I did get a little wide-eyed about that, but Nick is always prepared.
Watch this quickly.
We are back, and we have a special guest, Jackie Vantine.
The Bible says that man was not made for woman, but woman was made for the man.
Yeah.
Woman is...
Say it again. Preach.
The woman needs the man as much as the man needs the woman.
You lost me there.
Where did you say that? No, show me the scripture.
Being sexually attracted to your spouse is not a sin. It's not lust.
I think that we should eventually also overcome that, right? And I think that it should happen naturally, returning to God fully.
Let's just say you're cheating. You're cheating with a girl. You're not. You think it's okay to not tell her?
Yeah, that's fine.
Definitely should not.
When you go into marriage, right, and your wife is sick or she can't have sex, then what are you gonna do?
A concubine. I play.
It sounds to me like you guys have been burnt by women.
What a mess. That's what he's referring to. Check it out. Punchy.tv. It's on YouTube as well. Punchy TV. Punchy.tv. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham, again. And we wish you well as well. Chris bought a coffee. Just finished this week's episode of Punchy TV. It seems the woman was trying to play God by suggesting everybody tell her their problems so she could pray for them so that they could get forgiveness. I saw Hake open his mouth about 10 times, but he held back. I feel your pain, Hake. Great episode, as always.
It was. Thank you. The worst, do what you want, guys, but the worst thing you can ever do, there are many worse things, is to tell the woman your problem, including your mama. You're not created to do that. And every time you tell the woman your problem, you suffer. Thank you. When I come back, straight to the phone calls here.
We'll read the rest later.
888-77-JESSE. 888-77-JESSE. Quick break. Back to the calls right after this break.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old. And ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I just can't even, begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this. And young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Okay, welcome back. 888-775-3773. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning after my show, and James Hake is on fire. If you've not heard it, he's one white man that's not afraid of the blacks, or anyone really, from 9 to 11 a.m. And after that, Joel Friday TV, he black. You already know he's not afraid of the blacks. He black. He might be afraid. He doesn't understand the black culture. And Mays is right about that. Joel more white than any black. What the? At 11 a.m. Pacific time. You don't want to miss it. And then the American Anchor Baby. Energy through the roof given to him by God. It's not on loan. As Rush Limbaugh would say, on loan from God, talent on loan from God. His energy, the Anchor Baby energy, is given to him to keep, to own, to operate with, operate by, and with from God. Yes, Anchor Baby.
Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby.
Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Let me go to the busy phone. Stephen is a first-time caller out of Ohio. Stephen, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Stephen.
Man, I love your show. I've been listening since I was about 16. I think I got you on that Destiny interview.
And how old are you now?
I'm about 24. I'm turning 25 in November.
But today you're how old?
24.
Right on. Amazing.
Amazing. So, Jesse, I work with like a lot of, what do you call them, black people. And they all know that I'm pretty conservative, and they kind of like to, pick at me, and I'll engage with them. I've engaged with a lot of, black people growing up at my high school. It was 50% black, but that was up in California. I grew up in Fresno, and over here in Ohio, it seems a little bit more ghetto, a little bit more ignorant. And a couple of days ago, I was just watching your show, and I saw that interview you did on the news, it looked like 30-some years ago. And you were talking about Bill Cosby, talking with Jesse Jackson. There was this, tone in the entire interview of, hey, you can't say that. That's not true about black people. You're being very ignorant. She didn't really seem to give you any chance to talk about anything that had to do with race, because she was more invested in being, you had said it, racially, she was more focused on racial solidarity than she was on the truth. And it was as if she was saying, hey, you didn't get the memo. And I'm starting to feel that, around the people of Ohio, there is that that kind of message. Whereas in California, I never saw that. I always found myself engaging with black folk that kind of wanted to, I don't know, engage with the idea of, like, how do we move forward? How do we, how do we heal? However, over here in Ohio, I'm seeming to see that there's a racial anger. Why do you think that might be?
Because
is this indifference or design?
Because they're evil and they love lies and they love blaming and they love feeling like victims. But don't you stay present so you don't become angry at them, because they're blind and they can't help it, they cannot see. And you stay working on you, and so you can see what's going on so that you don't fall for it and you'll be fine. And leave them in their hell. And they love their misery. They love feeling like victims. They love blaming others. They love judging. And so you leave them in their hell. Don't try to convince them of anything. You work on you and live your life. It'll be perfect. You'll be fine.
I see.
So leave the people in hell as God does. God leave people in their hell that doesn't want to come out of it. Those who want to come out of it, they will invite God in. They will welcome. They will open themselves up and let the light in. And so those who don't do it, he doesn't impose on you. He lets you think like you want to think. He lets you be the way you want to be. And he has no judgment of it at all, because he understands you love your misery. You love your thrills. You love your hell. So you let those people stay in their misery and just know they're angry and they cannot see. And they don't want to see. Because if they wanted to see, they can see and they'll be free. So
do you think that the angle of racial solidarity over the truth has evolved in that 30 years since you've said that? I'm giving 30 years as like a time frame reference.
I don't remember that time, but there's no such thing as racial solidarity. There will always be a division between good and evil. There are people who will wake up and they will overcome evil and be of good. And there are people who will never wake up and they are evil and they will stay evil. So you don't want solidarity with those people. You want to be divided from those people, from evil. Not only do you want to be divided from evil within yourself, you also want to be divided from evil in others, because they would try to destroy you. So you don't want any solidarity with everyone.
I'm not saying I want solidarity. I was saying that this is in reference to...
Does solidarity mean everybody become one?
Solidarity was in reference to you getting at this person that was very against what Bill Cosby was saying, which was against
I can't even
the black agenda at the time.
I don't remember that discussion at all. But because I'm black and slow, what does the words to you, period.
To me, solidarity?
Yeah, solidarity mean what?
Solidarity, it kind of is more of a people thing. It kind of surpasses race, sex, gender, ideas. It's more just being all as one, I guess.
But that's not going to ever be, and nor do you want that to be. You shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. I prefer almost the truth
like
over
a
solidarity.
So what now?
I prefer the truth over solidarity.
Right. It sounds like a communist word, solidarity.
Like, what does that even mean in like like an everyday sentence? You know?
Yeah, I noticed that you see different groups joining so-called activist opinion, and together having weak groups joining forces, and they say they're in solidarity, but they're in solidarity with evil. So you don't want that.
Well, definitely not. I just was wondering if that idea within, I don't know, the ignorant community has evolved at all. Because I don't like that.
No. Black people, not all, but most do not want to be united with white people. They do not want to
Oh,
be...
not like that. They would prefer to be united by themselves and have their own ideas over what everybody else is saying.
And then
was
even
the
when they
general
do,
crux of it.
even when they do that, they'll unite together in those evil ideas, and then they'll turn on each other. They'll start fighting with each other in the same way they fought with white people. But thank you, Stephen. I appreciate your call. I got to run because of time.
Amazing. Thank you for talking, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you. Thank you. 888-775-3773. Pete is a first-time caller, or Peter, a first-time caller out of Michigan. Peter, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Peter.
Hey, I got a question. It's more a personal thing to me.
Okay.
Been struggling a lot with finances. Been working to repay some debt, but I often struggle with understanding the importance of saving for the future. I think being that I'm young, kind of lost hope with the future of maybe of the country and the direction where. Is there any advice you got for, like, how I can have a better mindset?
How old are you?
25.
And when you say what did you say about the future?
I just have probably a little anxiety for it, a little bit of just kind of don't struggle to invest in the future, invest into society and the direction of the way things are going.
Oh, okay. And where is the future?
Well, the future is yet to be seen, but we're headed down a dark path, I think, with the way technology is advancing.
And where is the future?
The future is before us.
Where?
It's in the distance.
Where?
Like the next second. What do you want me to say?
I want to know. You said you were concerned. You were about the future, and I'm trying to figure out where is it that you're seeing it and you're worried about it. Where is it?
Well, the future. By the future, I mean like the way that we're heading as a society, as far as the technologies we're investing in, and the basically I have anxiety about like the mark of the beast, or like technology that will be used for payment, that basically cashless society and all that. It seems like it's so close. It makes me anxious.
What do you mean the mark of the beast in society? What does that have to do with you?
Well, I think it has to do with everybody, like participating in it.
And
like,
is that happening now?
I think it's not happening now, but it's definitely trending that way.
Why are you concerned or put one thought into something that's not happening now? Why not just live now and stay out of your head and all this mess you've learned that's keeping you in a false future and a false past? Why not just live now and let the now happen and the next now and the next now, and you'll be fine? Why are you in your head holding on to all that mess that somebody have told you?
A good question. Is it you think it's wrong to prepare or to
But you didn't answer that question yet.
Which question?
Why are you in your head worried about some mess somebody have taught you about the past or the future and about the mark of the beast? Why are you taking any thoughts about that at all?
I think because it does pertain to biblical, like to scripture, especially Revelation, and I think it's something I've been taught through the church. So
right.
I mean, whether or not that's important.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But that
finish what you've been taught about Revelation and what through the church?
Like the future and but whether or not that's like important for them to be teaching, it's something that I've came across, and some of the elders have brought to light some of the things. So
why don't you drop everything you've been taught? Because revelation has already happened, is over, and you have a new life, you have a new kingdom, and just be free and live now. Forget what they taught you. They don't know what they're doing. They're setting you up to suffer in the same way they're suffering unnecessarily.
Okay, so it's more of a issue of leadership than it is like doctrine.
It's more of you dropping all you've been taught. Don't try to live up to anything that you've been taught. Drop it and just live moment by moment with the Father, and He will take care of you. You'll be free. You'll be fine.
Okay. And when, like,
what do you think
when
about
I hear
that?
you say, yeah, I do like the advice when you talk about like being like the Father. I think it's an important message, but is that basically saying that like the if you're living, if you have traits that are feminine, they're inherently wrong, or is it like what does that say about the other side? Like if you're to, that's what I want to know. It's not
repeat that
necessarily an argument.
Repeat the question.
What is if you have like the feminine traits and the feminine energy in the world, is that inherently evil?
Yes. You want to overcome, but the feminine trait, it only means that you're taking on the nature of your mother, and your mother's nature is evil. There's no love in your mother and what she passed on to you, but she couldn't help it because it's not her, but it's that spirit of evil that made a home in her. And so you need to forgive her for recreating you in her image. And then God will forgive you, and He would take the spirit of the feminine trait, whatever you call it, He would take the spirit of evil away from you and give you back His spirit, who would be strong, without a doubt, free, living in the present, and just letting life happen. You got to return to the Father by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father for not protecting you from your mother, and forget all that you've been taught.
Okay. And when you say forget all that you've been taught
about God, about morality, about how you should live and where you should be in life by the time you're 20 years old and then 25 and 30. Forget all that and just live in the present, and you'll be fine. Stop comparing yourself to others. Take no thought about this idea about the end times and all that mess that they've taught you, and live in the now time where God is and life and the kingdom of heaven.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, I've been working through it. I think I try to incorporate forgiveness into my way of life. But
how old are you?
25.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah, I believe I have many times. I think.
Have you gone to your mother and forgiven her?
I think that's something I can do.
Have you gone to your mother and forgiven her?
No, not directly, like you're saying. No.
Then why do you think you have forgiven her when you have not gone and forgiven her? Why are you saying you have? And you're saying you've done it many times. Forgiveness is a one-time thing. When you truly see you're wrong for being angry, forgiveness is a one-time thing. Why haven't you gone to her and forgiven her?
Okay, I understand, but I do have to object to that statement of forgiveness being a one-time thing.
And why?
Because Christ said you're to forgive 70 times, 7 times. So
and that will happen when you truly forgive. You will never be angry or judge anyone else again. You will live a perfect life of love. And in love, there is no forgiveness because you live in a life of love.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
why
I
haven't
mean-
you gone to your mother and forgiven her?
Probably out of probably fear and maybe a little bit of pride and anger. I think you make good points when I listen. And you were the first voice I heard ever even bring that up. So I'm lucky to even have found that idea to even do it at some point. So
And
thank
so
you for
why?
that. But
You're welcome. But why haven't you gone to her and forgiven her?
I think there's a strain somewhere between us.
And you said
I
fear, right?
I've yet to, yeah.
And why do you fear your mother that you can't say, hey, I'm sorry for resenting you for what you've done? Why? What's the fear? What would happen if you went to her and apologized for resenting her for turning you away from your father and all that mess he's done to you? What would happen if you went and forgave her?
I think it would be a healthy conversation.
But why do you have fear then?
I struggle to express real intimate feelings or
fear. Forgiveness is not an intimate feeling.
Well, it's someone it's like a.
Why do you fear your
to
mother?
Me, it's deep. I think sometimes I struggle to communicate with her.
Why do you fear your mother?
I think it's out of pride fear, but I think
no. Let me tell you, because of time. You think you fear because what?
Because I've struggled to have productive conversations in the past and to move past some of the pride that I have. I think that's been a big issue.
No, you forgive your mother because you're angry at her. Anyone that has anger has fear. And anyone that can make you angry, control you. You become fearful of them. But once you shaking in your boots and go, when you see you, and you sound like you do see you have that anger, once you say, hey, mother, I have been resenting you all my life because you angry, whatever she did, you're controlling, you turn me away from my father. I realize now you can help yourself because I can't help myself. I become like you. I'm sorry for resenting you. And God will forgive you and make you free. But you got to shake in your boot and face your mother. And then you got to see that fear was not real. It was an illusion. But you're never going to be free until you forgive your mother and forget all that you've been taught about life or how to live. Because you're never going to be able to live up to that.
So you're when you say forget it all, you're saying forget holding yourself to that standard, or
yes.
Forget like okay.
Don't hold yourself to a so-called moral standard. Don't hold yourself to when you're 30, you got to be married. Don't hold yourself to you got to do this for mama or for daddy. Don't hold yourself to any of those things. Just live in the present, and God will guide you. Because you're not going to be able to live up to that stuff, that so-called standard, which is an illusion. And then if you did those things, you're going to be miserable, just like the people who told you to do it.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Am I what about prayer?
Are you doing the silent prayer, or are you doing the hoop and hollering prayer?
I'm a very quiet person. But I've heard you say that. What is the silent prayer?
Go to rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. Start doing that so God can bring you out of your imagination and take care of you in the present. And do your little hooping and hollering. And when you're done hooping and hollering, be still and know God, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, I wish you well. I got to take a break. Back in a moment, one more hour to go. Hate news.
And I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of
all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Restaurants are doing an egg surcharge some places, because egg price is going up because the stock is kind of low because of the bird flu and other mismanagement mess. And also North Korea crypto hackers, they stole like $1.5 billion allegedly, reportedly. Huh. And another black NBC News host is out. It's not just Joy Reid. Well, she's MSNBC. But it's also Lester Holt, who took over for that guy who got supposedly caught lying, the white man. Bring him back. And rest in peace to singer Roberta Flack. She's the one who sang, she's black, by the way. She was black. Now she's dead. Rest in peace. But she sang that song, Killing Me Softly with His Love. Terrible song. Whew. I mean, but it's a good song, but it's terrible, I guess. Anyway, she had health issues, including Lou Gehrig's disease. And 38 people in 21 states got listeria. Listeria? No relation to Listerine, I don't think. From frozen supplement shakes. You drink those shakes, sometimes I guess they're frozen. Hadn't heard of it. But 38 people in 21 states got listeria from it. And the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, they are open to visiting the White House if they get invited, despite rumors saying, they declined their invitation to the White House. Because they won the Super Bowl. But Trump was at the Super Bowl. So I don't know if he's going to invite them or not or what. I don't know. Anyway, this is the end of hour 2 of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Tuesday, February 25th, AD 2025. It's Country and Western Tuesday. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, Not Fake News. And JLP will be right back to your calls. And we'll get to the rest of the Super Chats as well after the JLP Show, the Hake Report, and then Joel Friday TV, and then American Anchor Baby. It's the JLP Network. The U.S., as I mentioned last hour, joined Russia to vote against that evil UN General Assembly resolution condemning Russia for the Ukraine war, right? The U.S. is now at odds with that vote with their longtime European allies, communist buzzword, globo homo buzzword, and instead aligned with the supposed aggressor in the war on the 3rd anniversary of Moscow's full-scale invasion of the Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin also stated Monday his country is open to economic cooperation. Cooperation makes it happen. Working together with the United States, including on energy and mining rare earth minerals. The comments followed discussions between the U.S. and the Ukraine, in which our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, has demanded access to, not in this case, it's not a communist buzzword, to nearly half of the Ukraine's mineral resources in exchange for military aid. So we get their minerals, they get our military aid. Isn't that nice? Oh yeah, we might as well get something. A growing number of U.S. restaurants responding to the nationwide egg shortage by adding a temporary surcharge on their egg-based meals at some locations, such as Denny's, the popular diner chain, said price decisions now being made market by market and restaurant by restaurant. Earlier this month, Waffle House, another storied diner chain, introduced a temporary 50-cent surcharge per egg. Wow. Major retailers, including Costco and Trader Joe's, have had to take action as well by imposing limits on how many eggs one customer can buy. Wow, they're rationing eggs. We're going to have a run on the egg bank. It's terrible. Just remember that toilet paper thing. According to the USDA, the avian flu, also known as the bird flu, killed more than 140 million egg-laying birds in the country since 2022. At least 18.9 million birds have been killed, in the past 30 days alone. Wow. And that crypto hack. Those North Koreans know what they're doing, I guess. Hackers from North Korea stolen 1.5 billion with a B in cryptocurrency in a single heist. The largest crypto hack on record. Congrats, guys. But I disavow it because you're not supposed to do that. We're honest. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. It's amazing. It is Country Western Tuesday. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. And my biblical question, what good have you gotten out of religion? What good have you gotten out of religion? Think about it. What good? We have it every way that you can watch and support the show. Listen on Jesse Lee Peterson. You can listen to the show if you're busy and about, no matter where you are and what you're doing in the world, by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live. You can podcast. Don't forget that. You can podcast, but you don't have to miss a thing by listening to it on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 605-615-4131. 615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Tuesday. It's the third hour of the show. It is and will always be Country and Western Tuesday. All my life.
My faults, well, they've all been lies. They let me down every single time because the devil's been making homes inside my head. The good, the bad, the glad, the sad. If I could let them all go and give them to God, well, maybe you take this anger from my soul. And I'd shine like a light that's too bright to see. And I could lean on God so He could lean on me. Forgiveness, righteous, perfect peace.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Pete, you better be trying to put that song, do some of that song, man. What the? The blacks are fighting again. You can't take them anywhere. They're going to fight. One thing about the blacks, they love to fight. Let's reason together and work out the situation. That's not in the blacks' dictionary or the black song. What's that black song?
Lift every voice and sing.
They want to
and
lift
sang.
their voice and sing, but they want to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Blacks love to fight. Not all, but most. They fight at the grocery store. They fight at church. They fight at a funeral. They fight at the football game, the basketball game, the park, anywhere. They even fight at the airport. Fox 5 is reporting that travel plan took a violent turn for some passengers at Atlanta Airport on Wednesday. Cell phone video captured the moment a brawl broke out at what appears to be at Spirit Airlines boarding gate. They fight at the gate. Who fight at the boarding gate? You about to get on the plane. What? So you ain't got time to fight? You'll try to get in line so you can get on the plane first so you can get you some space up there to put your luggage. And you're fighting. Watch this from Fox 5.
Absolutely, just a really violent scene that unfolded here. Atlanta police say they responded to a disturbance here on February the 19th. Since then, hundreds of thousands of people have viewed this video that is making its rounds on social media. You can see that video right now. You're taking a look at what some passerbys recorded here at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport on Wednesday. You can see fists flying as passengers look to be waiting at their gate to board their flight. You can see the Spirit Airlines wall hanging right behind that group of about 7 or 8 people who appear to be involved. There's people yelling in the video. It is just really a chaotic scene, and as you pointed out, just certainly not something you expect to see here at Hartsfield-Jackson. Passengers we spoke with flying out today on Spirit say they hadn't heard anything about the flight, but they were stunned to see it.
Wow, you're not stunned. That's no surprise. This is what this one black woman said. President Trump was afraid of black excellence. She's talking about this. Black excellence. They are excellent in violence. Anywhere. It don't matter. Black excellence at work. By the time the police arrived, the crowd dispersed. And one last thing, I get to your calls here. So, but I want to say to the blacks, it doesn't have to be that way. You got to forgive your mothers. You got to, because you're yearning for your fathers, you're looking for love. And instead of finding the love, you're getting a fake life out of thrill of being violent, being angry, partying, and carrying on. It's just thrills. It's not making you overcome your hell. It's not helping at all. It's keeping you in hell. I would recommend to the blacks they stop listening to anyone that tells them that they have a right to be mad at the white people or anything. It's coming back on you. Drop the anger toward your mothers. Forgive your fathers for not protecting you from your mothers, and you will be free just like that. All right, for those blacks who want to overcome, I understand most of you don't. You love your misery. You love your hell. And if you think that's interesting, what you find at the airport's supposed to be like, you take your time, you walk over to you go through the metal detector, and if you're not in a hurry, you walk over to the gate, and you're looking around all those little stores and things that are there. You ain't stopping all the time, but you're looking. And you go, you sit down, you relax, you look up at the sign to see if your flight is still taking off on time. And then you just kind of relax. And then they said, time for boarding. You get up and try to get, closer to the front line as possible so you can get on early. Get yourself some space in the back is overhead there. And then you relax on the plane. And you have to put on your headphones, most people do, and you watch a movie or you listen to your music. You ain't thinking about fighting. Who thinking about fighting at the airport? Everybody fighting except baby Jessica's daddy. What the? Well, you think that's something? According to Action News, Jacks, 9 minors who were involved in 2-car theft in less than 13 hours this week, according to the Putnam County Sheriff's Department. And it looked like these 9 people are black. Watch this from W Jats. Watch this.
The Putnam County Sheriff's Office released body camera video showing the arrest of a 16-year-old after he and 8 other teens were involved in 2 car thefts this week. Sheriff Gator DeLoach tells Action News Jack's Nicholas Brooks local parents have to be more involved to prevent this kind of behavior.
5 teens aged 13 to 16 were arrested on Tuesday after stealing a truck and utility trailer from the First Church of God in Palatka, which led to a police pursuit.
Where the truck and trailer ultimately flipped on their side. 5 juveniles fled from that vehicle, all 5 of which were apprehended.
5 in the car, 4 of the kids, 3 are detained. Here's body cam footage of Putnam County deputies searching for the last 2 teens. Officers found a 16-year-old hiding underneath a house, leading to a tense standoff. The teen was arrested. In total, 3 of the teens faced felony charges, and 2 others were charged with misdemeanors. Sheriff Gator DeLoach says they also investigated on Wednesday an unrelated theft involving 4 teens who carjacked a DoorDash driver.
2 of which were charged criminally, 1 got away, and then 1 was charged with a misdemeanor.
Amazing, huh? Black excellence. The sheriff states that the motive behind the crimes were sheer boredom. Oh, they were bored. So the black guy, oh, bored. Let me go out and steal a car. Rather than let me go to work. Let me paint my house. Let me cut the grass. They're like, let me go and steal a car. Watch this amazing stuff. They were bored.
When we asked about the motives of the teens suspected in these cases, DeLoach said,
they're bored.
The sheriff also disagrees with claims that kids turn to crime because of a lack of outdoor programs, saying there are plenty of recreational options.
The city recreational department has a multitude of activities these kids can participate in. And there is just a total lack of parental involvement and supervision, and I think that's a major contributor to both of these occurrences.
7 of the 9 arrested teens attend the same junior through senior high school.
Wow, they got the same education. They're doing it not because they are bored. It's not because of the lack of activities. It's because they're angry and they're evil. They're angry, they're evil. No other reason. 0 reason. This wasn't like this when I was growing up, and I'm black. As it's displayed, black on the outside, white on the inside, but still black. This wasn't happening in the Jim Crow law, remember? And last but not least, here's an image of the 5. Here's an image of 5 of the 9 Florida juveniles from X. They're black and real black. Look at them. The next generation. Black excellence at work. They're yearning for their fathers. The anger is coming from their mothers and grandmothers. And nothing's going to change that until they can drop that. Amazing, huh? 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Let me go quickly to Jerome, a first-time call out of Virginia. Jerome, been waiting for a while. Jerome, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding you on the air.
Okay. Hey, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
How are you? How are you? Thank you.
All is well, Jerome.
Indeed. Yeah. I'm calling about the question, Jesse. But I guess
the biblical question.
What's that?
Are you calling about the biblical question?
Yeah, sure. And I also want to tell you, how much I love your show.
Thank you, man. You stay with us, stay with us, stay with us. It's amazing. Thank you.
Indeed.
What good have you gotten out of religion?
Jesse, perfect question. What I have out of religion is clarity.
Meaning?
What I mean by that is, we live in a society today. We live in a society where the lies become the truth, and this is also the situation with my entire family, including my family, my in-laws. I see the destruction of it, and it's been so chaotic that I basically have been attacked. I fight to protect my wife, who is also of a fallen state. I fight to protect my son, who is, he's in the first grade. And I thank God because I almost did what was wrong, and I would have suffered the consequences. The consequences would have been that I would have had to leave my own home after listening to my wife, who decides to allow a nephew to move into our home when we can't hardly financially afford it ourselves.
Yeah.
Plus, the attachment is to an entire family that simply believes in lies. My wife's car was stolen by her mama, but that's never been proven. But if I told you the story, Jesse, it's so obvious. But nobody understands this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What a mess.
It's a mess. So that's why I thank God for clarity.
Yeah. And I'll respond to that on Sunday. But let me ask. So did you make this person moved into he moved into your home?
He did not. He was,
good.
Did not.
And so now, and are you like, when you say you're protecting your wife, are you keeping your family away from your family and their family and don't have anything to do with them?
I'm keeping her family out of my house because their house is falling apart, so they want to fall apart in my house too. So I've done that.
And why not keep your family away from them, period?
It's between, I know my wife loves her family, and I'm going to let her do what she wants, and I'll obey God by simply, not allowing it in my house.
And does she obey you?
No, she does not, hardly ever.
And so why did you marry a woman that would not obey you?
I had no idea, Jesse, that a person can be this fallen, especially not her. She's such a great person, but when you find out, you realize, she's definitely in a fallen state.
And when you say a great person, give me one example of her being a great person.
She is kind, loving, very giving, but
But those are just false acts. She's none of those things, because if she was a great, loving person, she would obey her husband without even a thought. She will obey you.
Indeed. She doesn't only not obey me, she also doesn't obey good instruction, so they continuously fall into foolishness.
Yeah. She's evil. There's nothing good about her based on what you've said. She has no love. And if you don't, are you working on yourself?
Oh, indeed. I have Christ in my life. I listen to you. I listen to Pastor Gino Jennings.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I have.
You went to her?
No. Listen, I won't.
But how will you forgive her? I mean, how would God forgive you if you don't go and forgive your mother?
Well, my sin, I definitely ask God to forgive me. And the way I am forgiven is by I stop whatever the sin is so that I can receive the repentance.
But you haven't, because you have not gone and forgiven. And your sin is the anger that you have of the heart. You're playing God. And that's the sin. Sin is of the heart. And unless you go and forgive your mother and your father, God is never going to forgive you no matter what.
Well,
why haven't you gone to her?
Well, okay, I haven't gone to her because she will not repent. I was blamed and accused of things just this weekend, and my wife and I just told her, who cares? I don't listen. I don't even get angry anymore. It's all false. They're lies. They're accusations. I let it go. And that's why I say I forgave.
But why haven't you go? How would God forgive you if you don't go and face your mother? And hey, mother, I've been resenting you because of your nastiness. You turned me from whatever she is, right? I realize you can't help yourself. I'm sorry for resenting you. And then God will forgive you. You don't have to ask your mother to forgive. She doesn't have to apologize for anything. Leave her in her hell, but you come out of your hell by forgiving. Why don't you do that?
Well, and so I feel I don't hold a resentment or anger toward her.
Well, then go and tell her that then. Let her know you don't hate her anymore for what she's done to you.
Okay.
What would happen if you went and faced her?
You know, Jesse, nothing too bad other than she'll probably turn around and challenge me for what I believe in again, which is God.
And if she does, don't argue with her about it. You don't have to prove anything to her at all. You're going there because you can see that you have this anger for her, and anger is evil, and there's no love in anger, and you will never know God as long as you hold on to unforgiveness. And God said that if you have anger toward anyone, go and forgive them, and I will forgive you, and forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother. And that way you can be free and live your own life.
Jesse, I'm free of them. This is and I have a story.
But you're not
free.
You're not free of them, because if you're free of them, you wouldn't have anything to do with them. You would never think about them or anything.
I got you.
So you're not free of them. She is still controlling you. And if you don't forgive her, she will control you from the grave. And then the woman you're married to is your mother. You're married to what you hate. You're attracted to what you hate. And every woman you get involved with will be mama, and she will never obey you, and she will destroy your child or children as well.
Amen. I'm going to do that this weekend, Jesse.
And listen, do not expect her to apologize. Do not expect her to admit to anything. Do not expect her, if she try to argue, do not argue. Don't have one argument at all. Just say, hey, I want to tell you I'm sorry for hating you. I realize now you can help yourself. And God will forgive you. Don't ask anyone for forgiveness. Human beings do not forgive. We're supposed to admit that we're wrong for being angry, which is hatred, which separates you from God.
I agree.
So face your mother. Where's your father?
He's there as well. He's here.
And when you ask him why did he protect you from your mother, what does he say?
I don't. In his opinion, you know, he definitely never had to protect me. But yeah, he would never.
So you asked him that, and he said what? Did you ask him?
I did not ask him, no.
Why not?
I never thought to.
Ask your father why he didn't protect you from your mother. And you're going to see he can't handle her. He's afraid of her. And he's married to the same kind of woman you're married to, and he's catching hell.
Wow.
And it repeats itself generation after generation until someone apologizes for judging so God can forgive them, and he will create love through you, and that would be passed on to your children, and they wouldn't have to go through this.
Okay.
So you got to face that, man. Ain't no way around it. You got to forgive. Unless you forgive, you're not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven within while you live or after you die.
And Jesse, you know, my heart, I don't harbor anger toward them anymore.
That's why you need to go and forgive them. You realize they can help themselves.
And I can, and I will. But I know, you know, God has. I'm obedient to His word.
But you're not
perfect. I'm a sinner.
You're not.
Sure.
No, you're not obedient to His word, because the one thing He tells you to do is to go and forgive, and you're not done that. So you're not obedient to God's word. You're obedient to an idea you have about God.
Okay, I'm gonna touch on it, on that scripture, and I'm gonna meditate on that. But I don't have any problem with telling them that I forgive them.
And however they react, because your mama gonna have a fit. She's gonna try to blame you. Don't fall for it. Just say, look,
They
mama.
already did.
Yeah, just say, look, mama, I just want to tell you I'm sorry for. I realize now you can't help yourself. I'm wrong for judging you, and be done with her. No more communication or anything. Be done with her. You don't want to hear from her, about her, from anyone. Just move on with your life and keep your family away from. And you should, but you're not. You may be able to do it after you wake up, but you're not going to be able to keep your wife from her family, because your wife have no love.
Yeah, that's I think the trickiest part is the people think love is like this, but I learned, and I hear you talk about it a lot. People think love is a feeling.
No.
And you might not, but it's an action.
There is no feeling to love at all.
Exactly.
Jerome, thank you, man. I got to run, but let me know how it goes, all right?
All right. In the future, Jesse. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. And I'll reply to yours. Let me, the spiritual question on Sunday. Let me go to the first time call out of Michigan. Is it Maureen? Is it a lady or man? Marion, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Jesse. It's Marion. Thank you.
Oh, it's Marion. He told me Mario. What the?
Old school name. Old school.
Right on. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
Yes.
So my question is, I've been feeling some friction with the females of my family. I come from a family of alpha females, so hearing your podcast, I've been listening to it for maybe 6 months, so it's been transforming me to be more of a soft female, right? So I'm engaged. My family they respect him now, but they've always had an issue with him because I stopped drinking when I got with him because I got closer with God. He kind of reminded me about God and pointed me to him. So they all, from the beginning, thought he was controlling me when really it was God transforming my mind and delivering me from my generational addictions. But even now, we just got engaged this year, and they all seem happy for me. But my mom, she asked me if I was happy, like, are you happy? Like, I'm happy, but, I want your support, though. And she hasn't asked me any questions about it, about wanting help for my wedding and stuff. Not that I want it, but I just don't think they support me. And I'm trying not to hold a grudge. I'm trying to, forgive them and just, how do I deal with that, Jesse? Like, is it bad that I don't care to be around my family as much anymore?
Why?
Like,
what's wrong with you that you need them to support you at all? Why do you need that, period, from your mother or anyone? Why do you need that?
Man, that's good. I guess I don't know. I just thought I want someone in my corner, I guess. But
in what corner?
It's just you want your mom to be happy for you,
Why?
But,
Why?
Just because I guess I just thought that's how it should be.
Why do you think that?
I have a 17-month-old daughter, and I know when that day comes for her, I'll be ecstatic and excited for her, not jealous of her, because that's how I'm feeling. But I guess maybe I can see what you're saying, Jesse.
No,
Like, it don't matter.
That was a question.
Oh. What was that question? I'm sorry again.
Why do you need their support? Why do you need them to be happy for you? Why do you need what's wrong with you that you need those things?
Well, I didn't grow up with my dad, so I know my mom's always been important to me. My whole life, it's always just been my mom and my sister. So them two, I've always wanted their approval, I guess, because they were all I knew before I met my fiancé, you know, and now...
Hold on a minute. Can you hold a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. 888-77-JESSE. A quick break. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. I'll be back. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday. And then at 12 noon, The American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon Pacific time. All right? And support Bond. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, make a donation, keep the program going and things happening. We need your support. We'll help you, so help us to help others. I should not have to ask, but I'm reading something here. Shouldn't I have to ask, but some people don't remember. Oh, you're right. Let me help by giving back. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/donate, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Or you can mail it in, check a money order to Bond, P.O. Box 35090, LA, California, 90035. 35090, LA, California, 90035. And thank you for your support in advance, all right? Let me go back to Miriam really fast. And Miriam is getting married. She gets no support from her sisters, her mother. They're all crazy. Miriam, did you say you have a child already, or you want you have a child?
Yes, I do got a baby already. We have a 17-month-old daughter.
You and your fiance?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what's wrong with you that you need anything from your family?
I feel like that's just how we were raised. I mean, I just feel like they always taught us families everything. And
I know they lied to you. It was a setup. Don't fall. Let that go.
Damn. Mm-hmm.
You said damn?
Yeah.
Damn, George.
Yeah, but dang, yeah.
And
Maybe
don't don't even invite them to the wedding. You have a little simple wedding. Don't spend a lot of money. You and your fiance get married and save your money so you can buy a house. You can pay your rent. You buy because you're inviting a bunch of people to your wedding that hate you.
Wow. You think they hate me?
Yeah, they don't love you. They have no love. And they don't have no love. You only have hate. They're jealous of you, and they will destroy you. And they'll go to your wedding. They'll drink all your champagne, and in the background, they're gossiping about you and your husband.
Oh, my gosh. It's just hard because that's my mom, you know, so it's like hard to grasp. Like, really, Mom?
Your mom is your enemy. She's the one set you up to live this false life that you've been trying to live. She has no love.
It's just, you know, it's crazy because I know I hear about all the time, you know, having a dad is important. She had both of her parents in her life, you know, so I'm like.
But her mother turned her away from her father. That's why she's so evil. She's yearning for a father's love.
That's true because my grandma's, she's like pushing 70 trying to have boyfriends still like it's cute. So dang, you're probably, damn. Okay, it's just a lot of mind blowing going on here for me. Sorry, because this is all I knew, you know, like that's all I thought. I thought they had my back. I thought they,
Nope.
you know what I mean?
They don't have your back.
I should invite them?
No, do not invite them to the wedding. They are your enemy. But don't be angry at them. Stop trying to please them. You're about to start your own family and get far away as you can, away from them, and start your own family.
Wow. Dang, and even if, okay, I mean, like because I feel like I've been, you know, I really hate going to family occasions. I hate going to Christmases now ever since I stopped drinking, you know.
Stop hating and don't go. You're not required to go. There's no rules that says you got to be at any family event at all. And if they get mad at you for not coming, they're trying to control you. They don't want you to be free. They want you to be a part of the group so they can feel like they're right.
Wow. Right. Misery loves company, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just hard, man. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
What's hard?
It's hard to you know, it's just hard to hear, but, you know, it's just something I probably had to hear, you know, because, like I said, that's how I was raised on, you know. But at the same time, it's like maybe you hate me.
You forget all that you've been taught growing up. You will never be able to live up to that. You will end up in 30 years from now, you'll end up in the same hell that they're in. 70 years from then, you end up in the same. Drop all the things that you've been taught and just stay present and live now, one moment at a time.
Jesse. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Damn, I'm gonna have to hurt some feelings, man. Shoot, when these invitations go out.
Feelings are evil. Feelings. Anyone that has feeling has no love.
Gosh.
They only have hate, and they call that love. But you gotta forgive. You gotta face your mother. And say, you know what, Mother, I've been resenting you all my life because of what you've done to me. I realize now you can't help yourself. I'm sorry for resenting you. I'm sorry for being angry. I'm sorry for hating you. And then don't ask her to forgive you. God will forgive you. And if she said, well, I need to be forgiving you, or I did it, it wasn't me, it was your daddy. Whatever she said, let her say whatever she wants. Don't argue with her. You forgive her and then go live your life. God will forgive you. And you do the silent prayer, watch those thoughts so you can obey your husband and have an amazing life.
Yeah. Amen to that. Oh, I hear you, Jesse. Okay.
But do not invite them to the wedding.
For real, man?
100%.
Like, go ahead, sorry.
100%. You are inviting your enemies to your wedding. And don't spend a lot of money on a wedding. Little coffee, tea, and me thing, and that's it.
Right.
And go up to Jesse's office, get married, and go your way.
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell anyone.
Damn. So, dang. Okay. I mean, it's hard because I was telling her about the. Go ahead.
You want to tell her what?
I was telling her about the venue the other day, like, because she's not asking me anything. So I was.
So why are you telling your enemy? She's not interested. And she want you to come to her and beg for attention, and that give her a false sense of power, and she hates you for your weakness.
Damn.
Can you say damn one more time?
I'm so sorry.
No.
I hear you, Jesse. Wow. Okay.
Don't tell her about anything going on with your wedding.
So, just like, yeah, we did. I mean, it's like, okay, feelings don't matter. I hear you. Feelings are bad, So
Feelings are evil. They control you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So even if I'm like, well, the invitations are out. Well, I didn't get one. Yeah. Like, I just what? I just go about my day. If she asks me, well, I didn't get an invite. I just.
We just because you were not invited.
Simple as that?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Man, yeah. Okay, yeah. Wow, well, that really answered a lot of my questions. Even the guy you were talking to before, you were saying the same about his mom. I felt that. I need to do that too.
Every human being on earth and every human being that's been on earth resent their mothers. And that's what the problem is. They won't go and forgive her. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You're evil. You can help me to understand. You got to forgive her, though. You got to shake in your boot and deal with her and then walk away and never look back.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Don't invite your sisters either. They're mean, too.
Shoot, dang, my sister's going to be my bride or my maid of honor.
Not now.
Just out of obligation, I guess.
Let your child be your maid of honor.
Wow.
Is it a boy or girl?
The girl.
Let your girl be the maid of honor.
Oh my gosh, that makes sense, though. Yeah. Okay, Jesse.
And do you know about my silent prayer?
I've heard about it.
Well, start doing it. If ever you need it now. Rebuildingtheman.com /silent prayer. All right?
Okay. I will, Jesse. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
And you're going to be shaking in your boots. But be shaking your boot, but deal with it while you're shaking. And God will take away the shaking. It's an illusion.
Wow, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And don't let them near your family. You go and live your life. Don't move down the street. Don't move down the road. Don't let them move in with you. And you live your own life. Forget about them. Just don't be angry at them, all right?
Okay. Okay. This is me accepting that, I'm like, okay, I'm speechless, so much truth. But yes, okay, I won't. I gotta start that journey.
Long story short, where's your father?
He passed away 2020, but before that he was in our lives. He lived 30 minutes away from us our whole lives, but never really came around.
Because he couldn't stand your mama.
Yeah, right.
He loved you, but he couldn't deal with the hell of your mama. But he loved you.
Okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
I got to run, but let me know how it goes, all right?
I will, Jesse. Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And you don't owe them anything but not to hate them. And not hating them is for your freedom, all right? God will draw you and give you perfect peace if you drop the anger. But you got to forgive them for what they've done. They couldn't help it.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
I will.
Okay. Bye now.
All right, bye.
Let me go to Corey out of Michigan. What? Cora. Hey, Cora. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jesse. So I am calling because I have been obviously going through the same thing for a while now. I've called a couple different times. We've counseled a couple different times.
Come back to your phone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Stay with the phone.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so it's just been, honestly, I've just had a underlining fear of going to hell, and in result of that fear, I constantly get thoughts, because I've gone and, like, forgiven my parents before, honestly, a couple times. And I have that fear, and it constantly tells me to go back and say something different, say something else, or, you know, this, that, and the other. But I ended up watching church on Sunday, and you were talking about how it's not about saying, I forgive you, because that can just be thrown out the window, and that's just kind of words. But it's about...
It's
like,
not about saying, oh, I'm sorry. Everybody said they're sorry, but they don't mean it. They just repeat it over and over again. So never believe a person when they say they're sorry. They're not sorry.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't... Well, okay, so I heard your message about how you need to apologize for hating.
Yes.
And that, I don't know why, but it just resonated with me, and it made sense.
Yes.
And I was like, oh. And again, I'm sure I've already said those words, but for some reason, it stuck with me this time. And it really, like, I just knew I had to go do it again and say those words and really mean them. And I did. I went to my mom, and we actually talked for a while. But it was a good conversation. We kind of went over some of the things she did growing up that were inappropriate and evil. And then I apologized for resenting her, and I said I'm wrong for hating you.
Okay.
And I moved on from that.
Nice.
But I also wanted to do it to my dad. But he wasn't interested in hearing it.
He said, I don't want to hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
And obviously that stung, because I knew after hearing your message on Sunday that I wanted to say these words for the last time and mean them. And I did to my mom. And honestly, I feel good about it. I'm ready to let my mom go after, you know, truly forgiving her and saying, I'm sorry for hating you and I'm wrong for judging.
Right.
That's it with her. But my dad last night, he told me, you know, Cora, I'm not interested in hearing that. And maybe it's because I've came to him before already.
Right.
I don't know if it's hitting something in his heart where he's like starting to not want to look within. And he might, I don't know. He just started getting a little aggressive, and he was like, go talk to someone else about it. Like he calls me his bunny. Like, we have a really good relationship. You know, my dad was a drunk growing up. He was really unavailable.
And because of time, I'm sorry about that, but your question is what?
My question is, like, now that I've forgiven my mom yesterday, and I wanted to do to my dad for the last time and, like, really apologize for hating him, like you said on Sunday service, and he does not want to hear it,
and your question
what do I do?
Nothing.
What do I
move on. You know now, you tried to forgive him, you're gone, you have done it, be done with it, and stop apologizing. No more forgiveness.
Okay.
And just do the silent prayer, watch those thoughts, don't believe them, because they're going to tell you that you didn't do it, he didn't want to hear you. Don't do that. Those are just lies. Don't do it. You move on with your life now.
Okay. And can I ask one more thing before you get going?
Yes.
So before yesterday with my mom, and I don't even know about this morning, but I just felt a lot of hatred in my heart, even if she was just laughing loud in the other room or talking loud on the phone or eating and making noises. Like, certain things had still really ticked me with her.
Right.
And I know it's funny and stupid, but she's like, sometimes I can just feel like, even if she's just in my, like, my view, sometimes I still can just see that like hatred inside me.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You still live with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And your question is what?
What is that? Why is that still there? If I
just thoughts. thoughts.
Okay.
They'll try to tell you that. So watch those thoughts. When they tell you that, do nothing about it.
Sometimes I feel like they're not thoughts. Sometimes I feel like it's genuinely just a feeling inside me.
Well, the feeling comes from the thought. You can't have the feelings unless you have thoughts. And so when they come, and because you didn't catch the thought, and now it turned into a feeling, just relax in it. Do nothing about it. Don't run away from it. Don't go yell at your mother or apologize to her or anything. You relax in it, live with it, let it stay, and God will take it away from you.
Okay, so that's just normal. That's just something God has to take away in due time, basically.
100%.
And so with my dad, you say to just let it go at this point?
No more telling him you're sorry for hating him. You already know you've done it. Be done with that too. And when you see him again, don't bring that up anymore.
Okay. But what if I didn't get to say the right words I wanted to, though?
Well, he doesn't want to hear it anymore. Don't impose that on him. You realize you do resent him. You went and said it once. Now you realize, well, hey, I didn't do that, but that's fine. Don't let the thought say, well, you didn't say it in the right way. You didn't use the right words. It's not true.
That sounds like my head all the time.
Right. And just remember, all thoughts are lies, and all of them are straight out of hell. No such thing as a true thought.
I want to stay with this, Jesse. I want it more than anything, and it's a life that I really want to give myself to, even if it brings hell. And I know that this fear of going to hell is a lie. I really do know that.
The fear of going to hell is because you are in hell already, and you're into time. Let that pass too. There is no such thing. The hell that you already in. Anyone that has anger already in hell. Anyone that has fear already in hell. That's what hell is.
So the devil's telling me that to just try to keep me here. It's an illusion to keep me here.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so for finalizing, I can let all the forgiveness stuff go now?
Yes.
Okay.
And move on.
Good. All right.
No more going back and apologizing. No more.
All right, I'm done. As of today, I'm watching the thoughts, I'm watching the anger, I'm watching the fear, and I'm getting over this house.
Right on. You stay with it because you want it. You are open for the truth, and the truth is coming in. It has already come in, and it's going to get brighter and brighter and brighter, and you'll be freer and freer and freer. Don't worry. And eventually, you will have no thought about those things.
Yay. Okay, thank you so much, Jesse.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right, I will.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bye-bye now.
Bye. Super chat. Super. James, I just saw a flash that another airplane issue over in New Jersey, I think. They had to do emergency landing. It looked like it was a United or one of those.
Wow.
I'm not sure. I saw it flash on my computer and went away, so I don't know exactly. And then Joel would tell me there was another plane incident.
Yeah, and Delta Airlines, Joel said that there was like haze in the cabin or something like that.
Why was she there?
Joel Friday?
No, Hayes.
No, it's not a woman. It's Smokey.
Oh, I thought Hayes was there. She was 10.
Hazy.
Oh, super chat.
Julie from Connecticut, Eric's wife, bought a coffee. Punchie TV comment with Jackie Van Tyne. I agree with Hank to keep the woman out of everything, and that protects her and the marriage. The man's problem should be brought to God, not the woman.
Yes.
Question, Hank, in regards to it not being in the Bible to clean yourself up before marriage, isn't it ideal or right that the two people be completely born again before marriage? She asks.
Well, if you were born again, did you want to? She's asking you.
I think that you sometimes have an idea of what born again is, and you shouldn't necessarily have that.
That's a good point.
And it shouldn't have to do with marriage, because then you're going to try to be born again just so you can get married. And really, your savior is the marriage. You know, the idol is the marriage.
Deep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. Amazing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Cornerstone gave a Cash App, no message.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cornerstone.
Yeah.
Carl, the story from yesterday sounds like Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah.
Sad story.
Yeah.
My mother tried to stop me from dating when I was younger, and it tore me apart. Wasn't right of me, wasn't right of her.
Yeah, that's right. Amazing. Thank you.
Life B Simple says this is why some states have the Romeo and Juliet law.
Romeo and Juliet. Nice. Thank you.
Dion says, morning, y'all. Hey, Jesse and crew. Roberta Flack passed away in her hit song Killing Softly.
Killing me softly with your love. Killing me softly. Roberta had a beautiful voice.
Nice.
The young, too bad she died so young. I guess too bad. Thank you, though.
She was young?
Yeah.
Huh.
She
Popcorn
had cancer or something, if I remember correctly. I may
She
be
had all
wrong.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Popcorn says, Jesse, I've heard you tell callers in the past, why not work to get the laws changed instead of complaining about it?
Right.
Do you think the FBI director should have been sworn in with his hand on the Christian Bible? Why not work to make that a law instead of complaining?
That's a good point. But I don't care about that.
The great-
I just think that these foreigners should not be allowed to put their head on foreigner Bible, go back to their country and use it if they want to do that. Do the Christian. We are Christian nation. I mean, thank
the
you.
Great White Hope was sworn in last month, and he didn't place his hand on the Christian Bible. Should he have been allowed to do that? Why or why not?
Because he is an American. He's not a foreigner.
And Melania couldn't get there in time.
Nice.
Something like that. A very generous 20 coffees from Nikki. I had forgotten that I'm already free. Dizzy emoji. Like a fish in water, I'm desperately crying, hi, I'm thirsty. It was revealed to me that peace and freedom aren't things we attain or acquire. They're our true nature. Funny you spoke about this yesterday. 'Twas amazing.
Absolutely. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Absolutely.
Anthony on Cash App. Enjoyed the next 4 years after corporation president. Money signs.
Nice. Thank you, Anthony. Stay with it. I wish you well. Thank you.
Sion says, I've experienced evil, ignorant white people. Some are really out there. Not all look at hate. He doesn't see your blackness, LOL. And you're black as the ace of spades. His heart's not wicked. Black people are into their blackness. They don't even like each other. They don't support each other like whites and other races do. Clock that T.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, Sion.
Celestial Lord with the Rumble Ramp biblical question.
What good have you gotten out of religion?
No. Entering a religion, I think that means no good. It says no.
Oh.
Celestial Lord.
Okay.
Religion is entering in darkness, because the temple of God is in me. It's my responsibility to watch by the door, and when Satan comes, I'll be able to see him coming and let God.
Amazing. Thank you.
Sion with another coffee. You're feeding your horse watermelon. That is so cute and black. Jesse, say hi to Hassan Ye and pet Mr. Sandman. I'm a cat person. Sandman was so cute, though. Miss him.
I will. Thank you, Sion. Amazing.
Charlotte, say Jesse's heard about this city in South Africa called Orania. The whites have made it whites only. Blacks throwing a fit about this. If they hated whites so much, wouldn't they want the whites to be away from the blacks and by themselves?
I rest my case. I rest my case. Thank you. You're right. I got to go.
We'll read the rest of them tomorrow,
I gotta
hopefully.
go. Bye,
Thank you,
y'all.
guys.
Bye. Thank you all for everything. And to call me tomorrow if you can. I'm out of time. Bye.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old, and ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you, and I just can't even begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. We have a counseling service And I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.